Thank you. So, guilt and shame. Do you ever feel guilt and shame? Can you raise your hand if you feel guilt and shame now and then? How many of you feel it several times a day? Good. I'm in good company. Thank you. So if you ask me, like 10 years ago, if I often feel shame, I would probably say, no, I don't think so. Because I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of the uncomfortable feeling in me that it was actually shame. And if you ask me now, I would say I have waves of shame going through me several times a day. And I think that is a step forward, that I'm feeling it. And I can say that nonviolent communication, NVC, has been a really, really, really core tool for me to start to enjoy my feelings, all kinds of feelings. And there are other difficult feelings than shame and guilt. There's also anger and fear. That's sometimes we don't know how to deal with them. And what I would do a lot in the past would be to put them down and put a lid on and act as if they were not there. And at the same time, I would project it onto other people. So if I felt uncomfortable, it was you who did something wrong, or you said something bad, it was you who was to blame. So to do that, to live in this projection or suppression, of course it's a way of living, but I'm missing out on some wonderful opportunities if I do that. Opportunities to get to know what is the gold behind these feelings, what is the value behind them, what are they speaking to me about. So the more I work with NVC, the more I'm able to see that every feeling that goes through me is a message about something important in me. And I like to connect my feelings to my heart and to see them as a message about needs. And I like to think that my needs are somewhere in my belly. The needs are my motivators. And guilt and shame have exactly as wonderful a message as all the other feelings, but I was not trained to understand what they were about. The two of them, they asked me earlier today why I started working with shame, and I tried to remember when I really got into it. I think mainly it was because I had a problem that I couldn't solve. Isn't that how we often start our personal development, is when we run into something that we can't really deal with? So that was very true for me, at least. So it's some years back. I was setting up a training in Denmark with a trainer from another country, so kind of an expensive workshop. And we were very keen to attract people we didn't know, because of course people from our NVC network, they are the first ones to sign up. So we were very keen on finding a way of attracting people that we didn't know. So there was a group, an association for parents, and we thought they would be good to attract because it was a workshop about education and child care. So we decided to put one ticket for this training in a lottery in an arrangement that this parenting workshop had, with the idea that you could bid for this ticket, and maybe you get it very cheap because not so many want to buy it. But we get a new person in the training. That was what we wanted. No matter the money, but we wanted to attract new people. So then I get to know that an old-timer, a person that we know very well, he has given a bid for this ticket and gotten it. And the first wave in me when I hear this is really uncomfortable. I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm upset. And the next wave is, shut down, Kirsten. You can't allow yourself to be upset about this. This man has as much right as anyone else to give a bid in this auction to get the ticket. So calm down, don't be upset. And it took me actually 2 years to take the lid off that container and to discover what was in it. So first there was the anger, and then I felt shame about my anger. I shouldn't be angry. And because I did not know how to welcome my shame, I put it all away. And when I finally started looking at it, only then could I understand myself why I was upset about it. I was upset about it because the whole idea of this ticket out there somewhere was to attract a new person, and now he has kind of grabbed it. And why didn't he call me and ask for reduction in the price if that was the case? Why did he take this ticket? And the more I was willing to explore my frustration, the more I could understand myself. How much I had invested in the outreach, hoping that we could attract a lot of more people, not only the one buying the ticket, also others who see this offer and people from this parenting group. So the more I could come to terms with myself, then finally I could start having some empathy with the other person and seeing him as a human being who might not have been aware of the whole idea in this. Like seeing this other person innocent. And that was freeing for me. Only then could I start relaxing and liberating myself from all this turmoil of feelings, because I have come to understand them.
What I remember when we spoke earlier was that there was anger, there was the anger, and then there was the shutting down, and then when you did begin to open it up, you discovered a quality of shame, or something that the shame was calling you to do. I'm not sure if we're at that point yet, but
yes, I think so. So the more I've been working with shame, the more I'm also looking for what is it calling me to do. And if you are studying NVC, some of you, you probably know about anger. It's calling us to wake up to some needs that are not being met. And what is shame calling me to do? It's calling me, in my understanding, the way I understand it now, it's calling me to do self-reflection. And that is sometimes very painful, to be willing to do my self-reflection and to stop projecting my frustrated feelings onto other people. Do you know that feeling? That it's much easier to say that the others are stupid than it is to look at my own part in it? You know that feeling?
Yes.
You know that feeling?
Or self shame. Yes. Rather than actually be with it and work through it.
So I'm curious about this projection. When I talk about projection, is it clear for you what I talk about? Can you raise your hand if you know that you are projecting sometime? Okay, I can enjoy that. So that is what we do, and it's a smart thing to do. It's a survival thing. So it's good that we are able to project things that are too painful to deal with right now. I project it onto you. But if I keep on doing that, I can end up lonely. I have a good friend, Godfrey. He talks about this projection as the Kalashnikov method. You know Kalashnikov? So I'm shooting all the other people. You are to blame, you are wrong, you are stupid, you shouldn't have been doing that. And when I finish the shooting with my Kalashnikov, I have another problem. And there's only one idiot left, which is me. So no one else to project onto. They are all gone or dead if I have shot them. So I'm left with myself, and only then do I come to my self-reflection and to see my own part in it and to harvest my learning, to find my needs so I can start being more able to fulfill my needs, to find actions that's actually fulfilling my needs so that I can live the life I want to live. So without going to this welcoming the feeling, looking at my self-reflection, I don't find my needs and I don't find actions that actually transform my life, to do things that is really serving my life. So I think this is the main thing in NVC, to welcome feelings, find the needs, and take action that is serving the life, serving this life. Listening to what I want, what's in my heart. And of course also, the more I do that, the more I'm open to what is in other people's heart. And I'm able to have this two-way dialogue.